We fucking made it, guys. Let's go. It's episode 16, the mastering process of this song. So we're going to be mastering this today. It's going to be a relatively short video. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. I'm going to show you guys the basics of what you're going to be doing with mastering, give you some tips and tricks to help you. And first, I just want to say when you are making a proper track, like this is definitely not a proper track. I did this on the go as I recorded the series. You would have a separate project file for the production part, a separate project file for the mixing part, and then a separate project file for the mastering, when it would just be the bounced out audio file, wave file of the mix down. So it would only usually be one channel. But just to save time and remind you guys what the track looks like and stuff and what we did, I'm going to leave it like this. So, pace. I don't know why I'm doing pace. Let's make this 8 bars. And we are going to go into the master channel. So, I have a preset audio effect rack that I use as a template. It doesn't mean I use everything on this template, and it doesn't mean that I don't add other things. I usually add more, but this is just my general template to get the start of mastering. So the concept of mastering is bringing out the right colors and frequencies of the track, isolating certain frequencies to be set in a certain area of the stereo image. And wow, this is taking a really long time. All right, yeah, okay. Setting the stereo image and making it louder without distorting it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the limiter on, but I'm just going to turn the gain all the way down. I'm going to turn this to transparent. We're going to deactivate ozone. And also, guys, you might not have all these plugins, but I'm going to show you how to do stuff if you don't have them. So take off the OTT. So I always start with a glue compressor. I have the attack set to 10, the release set all the way to A. I don't know what it really stands for. It's just the slowest one. And the ratio to 4. I'm going to bring the dry wet all the way up and put the clip on soft. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the loudest part of your track, and from what it looks like, it might be right around here because I got the most drums and the synths. Let me just see. Yeah. So it's going to be right around here. So what I'm going to do is you're also not going to just focus on one section. You're going to focus on different parts of the track. You're going to do the intro. What the hell is my loop section here? Oh, there it is. What the hell is going on? I don't know why my mouse isn't moving. There we go. Okay, so where were we? We were right here, I believe. Oh, nope, we were right here. Okay, so we're gonna have the loop on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the makeup all the way down, the threshold all the way up. So we're gonna get it to sit somewhere around like between 4 and 5 dB of gain reduction, and that's what this is gonna measure, this meter here. Also, in this mix down process, I'm going to just lower this a tiny bit. Okay. So right there, and you can see it's peaking around like 4 point something, for like high 4s. So I'm going to bring this right around 4.6. Okay. And now that sounds very compressed. So we're going to find a sweet spot between 0 and 100. It's usually going to sit between like 30 and 70, but let's just see where my ears feel happy with it. Okay. So now we have OTT. Guys, this is a free plugin. There's no reason why you shouldn't have it. I'm going to just have these basic settings right here. And the depth is basically going to be the dry wet knob in here. So I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to have this very low. You can see it's getting squashed a lot when I bring it up. Now you can already hear the difference if I just activate and deactivate these two plugins. Listen. All right, we're going to do a bit warmer setting. I think it's a preset plugin. Let me just make sure. Audio effects. Go to saturator. Yeah, sorry guys, my mouse is like dying here. Yeah, it's a pre-made setting from Ableton. Turn the soft clip on. All right, so very little bit of a bit warmer. Now I have Ozone 8. So Ozone 8's like got a bunch of plugins in one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the imager. So if you have Ozone, great. If not, I'm going to explain something later on to basically imitate this. So this is breaking the track down into 4 bands. You got your sub, your low mids, your high mids, and your high frequencies. So what you want to do is in the sub, you don't want any stereo imaging. You want it all to be in the middle. So you're going to, it should look something like this. All right. So normally what I would do is I would hit learn and it's going to basically show you based on a ratio of where your sounds are. It's going to break down your 4 bands for you. So we'll do that real quick. All right. That I've never seen it really go that low, but I'm going to bring it up a little bit. You can manually adjust it. So now in the low mid, you're still going to get some bass line. You're going to get the bottom end of the rest of the sounds. So you want those to really be centered as well, but not too centered. So we're going to solo this. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much in the middle. It's not really going too far to the right or to the left. Now this band where a majority of your sounds are going to be can be spread out. It's going to have some in the middle. It's going to have some spread out. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. It sounds pretty good. I'm listening on my left and right. Actually, like my wires are crossed, so like when it says left, it's actually coming out of my right, and when it says right, it's coming out of my left speaker. But it sounds pretty good. So now this is gonna be like your white noise and your hi hats and stuff. You want that to be pretty wide, so I'm gonna bring that up. And basically, what this knob does is it's gonna put it in mono or full stereo. All right, cool. And you really don't want this thing to be dipping to below 0 too much. That means it can be heard on stereo speakers, mono speakers, pretty much anything. So I have the maximizer, which is basically a compressor, and it's going to show the wave shape of the track, and you want to get a little bit of compression. The key to mastering is not doing one big compression, doing multiple tiny bits of compression so you're not clipping the sound and distorting it too much. All right, so see, we're really just taming these big peaks here. Now, Dynamics is another compressor. I'm actually not going to use the Dynamics in this one, and the equalizer. So the equalizer, you're going to want to usually do um, like an air band EQ at the top end to give it some air, like for the high end stuff. and we are gonna do a high pass, do a 48, and we're gonna bring this down to like -20 just to clean it up because we're not gonna be able to hear that anyway, and speakers aren't really gonna be playing that. Well, we'll go up to 30. 27.7 is good. All right. So also another thing you would do when you're referencing another track, you would put a separate channel with the original reference track, which is already a professionally made track, and you're gonna see basically what the spectrum of the song looks like. What's high, like you should be able to tell the kick and the bass apart, like with the peaks over here, and usually it's gonna be a little bit higher here and then dip down, and it should have like a slope kind of like this. All right, that sounds pretty decent. And if you guys don't have Ozone, what you can do is go to an audio effects rack. I'm going to do it separately over here because I'll eventually delete it. And basically make 3 tracks with, you're going to do EQ3, and you're going to duplicate it 3 times, or twice. You're going to name this one high, mid, and low. And so for the high, you're just going to have the highs. For the mid, you're just going to have the mid. And for the low, you're just going to have the low. All right. And so what you're going to do is for the low, you're going to bring in a utility. And then the width, you could just go mono. And then for the mid, you could do the same thing. And you could do high mids, whatever. But like for the high, let's just drag it in here. You're going to do this by widening the sound, something like that. All right. So now it's time for limiting. You don't want to really get, especially with the Pro L, like anything more than like 4 dB of gain reduction. Like after that, you start to hear some clipping. I put the look ahead very quick, the attack kind of slow. What the hell is going on with my mouse? And the release pretty fast. Have the output at -0.1 dB, dithering at 16 bits, oversampling at 4x. And that sounds pretty decent. Like I said, guys, when you are mastering, you're not just going to focus on one loop, but for the sake of the video, I'm just showing you the basics. So I'm going to enable it and disable it, and we can hear the difference. So this is disabled. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I honestly had a blast doing this. Guys, please, like, don't judge me off of this. This isn't like an amazing track. The link for this entire project will be in the description below. So please, if you want to do anything with this project, feel free to send me any of your music and I will gladly listen to it, help you out if you have any questions. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the series, and please hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already.